I hope you're all well and that today the sun is shining over you all. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Quite frankly, I am bored up to my gills with saying the same thing about Andrew over and over again. It is clear that he is far more involved with Epstein's actions than any of us even imagined. I saw people commenting that I protected him. Now, I would agree that I was a little naive, I think in certain ways, but you can go back to each one of my videos, and in practically each and every one I said the same thing. Investigate him properly, arrest him, drag him to court, and if found guilty, send him to prison, like you would do with everyone else. I personally am tired of some people being treated differently. The fact of the matter is that had Andrew been your son, your brother, your father, or your husband, he would have been in a cell next to Bubba the Bone Breaker a long time ago. But the word was barely out when they stormed Mandelson's home, warrants in hand. Yet Andrew moved, and he had months and months to get rid of evidence. Okay, so finally Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested. But what does it really mean? Andrew has been taken for questioning, which does not mean that Andrew will be charged, and if he is charged, it still does not mean that he will be found guilty in a court of law. So yes, I absolutely agree that the arrest alone is huge, totally unprecedented. Andrew is indeed the first senior British royal to be arrested in the modern era. The previous royal to be arrested was Charles I in 1647. But never mind, bear in mind that Andrew was not arrested on sexual misconduct or involvement with minors, you know what I mean, or any of those things. He was arrested on allegations of misconduct while in office, or whatever they call that. And if you want my opinion, I think he is maybe going to walk on that one, because he is going to say that he was only asking Jeffrey Epstein's advice. And I'm equally bored of saying this, but I'm willing to bet everything I don't have that Charles is fighting tooth and nail to stop this investigation. And why would he? I mean, he does not really particularly like his brother, and he never has. Well, God alone knows exactly why, but past behavior predicts future behavior, and Charles has done this numerous times. It was Charles really, and not the Queen, who stopped the legal action against Paul Burrell. It was Charles who instructed Mark Bolland to negotiate a way out of prosecuting Paul Burrell. Sarah McCorkadale, Diana's sister, was told during a meeting that Charles was very determined that, and I quote, the march towards prosecution should be halted. From Tom Bauer's book, Rebel King, the lengths Charles went to stop the procedure against Paul Burrell was extraordinary. And why was that? Well, two reasons. a mahogany box with 2 tape recordings being the one, and knowing that Paul Burrell knew about and had witnessed his secret meetings and phone calls with Camilla while he was still married. Charles did the same with Michael Fawcett. Despite many threats, Fawcett was never prosecuted. All the charges against him time and time again just went away. Now there are also many thefts in the various palaces by tourists and by staff. Here is a statistic for you. Between 2019 and 2021, 470 crimes were recorded at Buckingham Palace, Clarence House, Kensington Palace and St. James's Palace. But only 1% of those had been prosecuted. They say Meghan Markle fears only one thing and is only paranoid about one thing, and allegedly it is about the truth of her children's births being found out and being made public. Well, Prince Charles, now King Charles, is allegedly only paranoid about one thing, and that is a police investigation in one or into one of these palaces, never mind into all of them. Now ask yourself why. Because Charles fears only one thing and is paranoid about only one thing, and allegedly, for legal reasons, it is about an investigation launched into what is being said and done behind the scenes at royal residences. Like a man well versed in the elite once said to me, Charles will keep his own hands clean, but many an illicit instruction has passed his lips. Many years ago, someone else said to me that we should not stare into the image of a sweet man talking to plants and farm animals and who paints whimsical watercolors. He is indeed a stubborn man who demands to have his way, a man who will throw his own children under the bus if he thought it necessary or that he could gain something from it. Last night I watched Talk TV with Mark Dolan, and if there is a royal commentator I always rather liked, it is Rafe Hadel Manku. But it is clear from not only his reaction on Talk TV and that of many known royal commentators that they have suddenly become less vocal and more subdued, and are clearly faking allegiance to the king. And I'm saying faking because they are not all such good actors as Rafe Hadel. I listened to Jobson the other night, can't remember on which channel it was, but surprisingly, Jobson, who was a major Charles sycophant, seems to have changed his tune a little and seemed to be less, or shall I say, far less enthusiastic. However, with the exception of Jobson and a few others, I am informed that many on the royal rota had been subtly reminded that one wrong word will cost them their jobs, and that is putting it mildly. Some have apparently, allegedly, for legal reasons, been told never to find work anywhere in the United Kingdom ever again. I've also been told that Andrew's protection officers who accompanied him on his visits to Epstein are being investigated or looked into. However, I'm also reliably told that many other protection officers and other officers on guard duty, etc., had been reminded of their oath when they swore loyalty and allegiance to the king. And some have also been subtly threatened and told what the consequences of talking out would be. The big issue now is, outside of Andrew and all his trouble, is that Charles, the king, had been caught in a lie. We remember full well his call of ignorance. He did not know a thing about his brother's relationship with Epstein, etc. However, it now transpires that he contributed more or less £1.5 million to Virginia Giuffre's settlement. So, he did know, and he likely knew a heck of a lot more long, and I'm talking about years before we did. Maybe all the way back to 2010 and beyond. The facts are also that Charles knows far more than we do, far more about Meghan's past and the shenanigans Meghan and Harry got up to, than we do or can ever hope to know. Really, I cannot stress to you how much more he knows. He is being brought up to date by Ravek, by the security detail, by MI6, MI5. It could be on a daily basis, if needs be. It can be on a weekly basis. But I tell you what, rarely a week goes by where there is not some kind of security information report handed to the monarch, all the way back to Queen Elizabeth II and likely beyond. Charles also knows full well that Harry and Meghan are more likely to bring scandal to the family than anyone else in the family. Full well. For example, Harry and Meghan's Archewell Foundation had been traded in for Archewell Philanthropies, which is, for all practical purposes, under administration. But is anyone talking about it? No, I haven't really heard anyone talking about it. So why not? It is no wonder Charles looks as white as a ghost. He currently has way too many fires to put out, more than he, in his condition, can handle. Charles himself has walked the tightrope between right and wrong far, far too many times, and now he is about to fall one way or the other. We all know it is only a matter of time before the next revelation will come, and along with that, the next scandal. William indeed knows this, and he had been begging his father to cut ties officially with Harry. William knows that the monarchy is not strong enough to withstand another onslaught, but Charles is refusing to remove Harry and Meghan from the official website, which in the bigger scheme of things means very little. So why would he do that? I never believed that Charles was being quietly and psychologically blackmailed. but now I do. I know that according to the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013, an Act of Parliament, only an Act of Parliament can remove someone from the line of succession, and there are only a few reasons whereby Parliament will grant such a thing. Number one being mental capacity, and number two, an act of treason. Well, if Andrew passed trade secrets onto Jeffrey Epstein, then surely that is an act of treason, isn't it? And Harry with his continued drug use, surely that constitutes mental incapacity, or am I wrong? Okay guys, I will be back soon enough. Please take care of yourselves and stay safe. Until we speak again, bye.